Welcome to another edition of Camel Wild.
Nice.
You're supposed to go Camel Wild. This is pretty fancy effects. This is high production value.
You gotta get a delay pedal for your voice. No, that's part of the intro.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's in the intro.
You're duplicating.
Sorry, I don't need to do that. Well, welcome back, everybody. I guess it seems like longer for us than for them, only because we're recording. Are we recording less?
We're releasing every other week.
But are we recording the same interview? No. Interval? No.
No. We used to meet every other week.
And record 2 shows every other week.
Which we would end
and then release a show every week. But now we're meeting
once a month.
Once a month and releasing shows every 2 weeks.
Right.
But we had a brief conversation.
But what's good about that, it's good and bad. It's bad because there's not as many shows, but what's good is we're not missing any shows.
Yes. Well,
we haven't missed a show in a while.
It's more manageable.
And it's more manageable. It's easier for us to do. And our next show that's coming out Monday is actually 2 shows because of the Star Wars. And then that was actually released before this show. This show is like kind of a New Year's show. So Happy New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year, fuckers.
Yeah. And then there'll be a week off, and then there'll be another show.
Is the world ending on New Year's Eve?
No.
Could this be the new? Are we?
That was
the
20.
Gamma world.
That was 20 years ago.
That was
Y2K. 20 years ago.
Yeah. That didn't. Really...
What did you do for your 2000 New Year's Eve?
I was in Los Angeles.
Did you do anything special? Because like everyone's like you were like such a loser if you weren't doing something special. And
I don't ever do anything special. And you know what? My idea of a special for New Year's Eve, which is what I'm doing this year. I'm going back to what I used to do.
Uh-huh.
We have a movie marathon. We pick one movie.
20 years ago, you were married to Natalie?
No, we were dating. She passed out before midnight, which pretty much happens every New Year's anyway.
Yeah, me too. No.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not true.
Well, except for the night when we were out. That doesn't happen. But usually she's passed out, and I'll kiss her Happy New Year when she's asleep, and then I'll go back to watching because I'm up all night watching TV anyway. But what we used then it morphed into we started doing movie marathons, and we would just pick something like we would watch Star Wars with the idea that we would, time it so that like the last, it changed throughout the years, obviously, because it added movies, but like, hey, we'll watch it so that, they blow up the second Death Star at midnight or whatever. Then we watched the Lord of the Rings, and we said, we time it so that we start it. And I had like the extended super editions of Lord of the Rings.
I hate those editions.
Oh, I love them. No, they just go fucking on and on and on.
They go on and on and on forever. Which is great in the book, but it's not great in the movie.
I accept the original ones more than The Hobbit, which was pretty much take a real small book and
not
make
even
it
see
into 3
The Hobbit.
fucking movies.
You didn't even see or read The Hobbit.
Yeah, I went to see it. But you see, all these movies, including Star Wars, which I just saw, Rise of Skywalker, they come out around my birthday. So it becomes a birthday thing for me. So like Fellowship of the Ring, all these movies came out right after
There's a lot of Christmas movies, yeah.
Yeah, and the same thing for The Hobbit. So it just became the thing that I would go to do, So I actually was literally seeing The Hobbit when I turned 40. That was right around December when they had my 40th birthday party at my house, which was a surprise party. My brother-in-law's, I should have fucking known something was up when my oldest brother-in-law, who hates fantasy, was like, let's go see The Hobbit. I'm like, this is unusual because he can't hold still, let alone hold still for almost 3 hours in a movie theater at Monmouth Park, where I think he was going to the racetrack when he could. He was running to the racetrack and running back. But anyways, I digress. We're in the role-playing show. But that's what I try to do. So we're playing around with the idea of, like, can we sync up Endgame to end when Thanos, when Iron Man snaps his fingers and snaps Thanos away at the stroke of midnight to 2020. Now, that's 26 movies at 2 hours apiece. The math doesn't work unless you start early.
Right.
But we're playing with that idea of, and granted,
January 30th, you're starting that.
December 30th, yeah. And you play with the idea of
December 30th.
You don't sit and watch everything. Just so you understand, you're not sitting there for those movies as a whole. You just pop in to watch the parts that you love.
Right.
And then you go back, and then you go and do something
do,
else. Like you're reading, or you're playing, whatever you're doing. You're doing something else, and you go watch it. That's what we do. So we're going back to that this year. We're not doing anything.
I think for the millennium, I think I was I was in Pastels in Brooklyn.
Yeah. You get laid?
I don't think so.
Oh. You jerk off?
Probably.
Okay, good.
I'm like, what is that?
See, now the other show is taking over the role-playing show again. This happens. It bleeds over every now and then. But
All right.
It was because we were swimming in the monomyth for
Yes, we were.
2 hours.
We really covered Star Wars. Really, there's nothing left to say.
Nick doesn't want to talk about
by
it
anybody.
anymore.
By the way, no one could say anything else about Star Wars. That was the ultimate.
That was the
It's
penultimate.
complete,
It's done.
penultimate finished. Everyone needs to shut up now.
So much like the Millennium many years ago, Nick has shot his load, and, and we're done.
It's over.
So anyways, but we're in Gamma World, and in Gamma World, there's still a struggle for survival between all these different factions, and life is tough. So let's try to remember where we left off. And I think we talked about trying to double down on doing more role-playing shows than the other show, only because I feel like the story is not progressing as fast as I would like it to.
Okay, sorry.
So why do you feel like that's directed at you?
Why are you looking at me?
Well, you're the only person here.
Okay, true.
Let me look over here. Is it weirder when I look over here at the cornhole game? So maybe we'll do a few more role-playing shows. We'll do some back-to-backs in order to advance the story a little bit so that, not that, I mean, we could string this out for fucking years. I mean, that's fine too.
Yeah, well, no, let's just keep it interesting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. But
when we could do extra, we should do extra. That's what we should do.
We should. Like I said, if we don't have anything to say in the other show, we just double down on the role-playing show. It's completely doable. Anyway, so where do we leave off? Our friends had been stalking the cybernetic mass murderers who destroyed Timberland and their giant machine. Are you doubting that I hit record? We're 14 minutes in. I don't think we've...
No, I'm just really upset those levels look low. I apologize to everyone if this sounds low. We're trying to tweak the audio so it sounds better.
And then
we may have made it sound worse. Anyway.
Give us your feedback.
Yeah.
doomsdaydoopydoo@gmail.com.
That's right.
Doomsdaydoopy.
Right. That's my son waking up, I guess. We woke him up.
Oh, Jesus.
Go ahead.
So,
I'm chewing on pretzels. I'm sorry. I'm starving.
We're not professionals.
No, but this is a D&D game. I'm supposed to be eating pretzels.
Okay, fine. I'm supposed to bring some kind of special pretzel.
No. I'm hosting. I'm supposed to have the stuff out.
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know. You got some odd bag there.
No, that's nice
but,
whiskey.
And the pretzels, you're not eating them.
No, because I have to talk.
Okay. I'll listen and chew.
So anyways, and they have to be sourdough. Can we get soft pretzels?
Soft pretzels? Where am I getting soft pretzels? What do you mean?
Make them.
The frozen ones?
I know, I didn't say that.
The New York Super Pretzels?
You should have a pretzel machine down here.
Oh, yeah.
Just running all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Have Lisa come and swap them out. Spray the stuff on and dip them in.
I have a candy cane Reese's Pieces if you want.
Oh, Jesus, no. I would eat it, but I shouldn't. Anyway, so our friends had to chase the machine down, retrieve some motorcycles, and narrowly escaped a close encounter with the device, doubled back to follow it, and as it was entering some sort of storage refueling depot, they were stalking along the edge of a forest when young Bundy's lost his goddamn mind and charged at them like John fucking Rambo and almost single-handedly achieved victory and entrance into the refueling depot, killed a number of people, including the people in the fueling depot, and our heroes ran into the fueling depot and closed the gate. Bundy's was quite injured, bleeding from numerous wounds. Gloom climbed up one tower.
Is my chewing audible?
It's even at your distance with the gain changes we made. Yes, your chewing is quite audible.
It is?
Yeah.
I hear it in my head, but I don't hear it in my
No, I could
headphones.
hear it literally. It's because they're so hard, the pretzels, dude.
The Snyder sourdoughs, man, are fucking awesome. They're the best pretzels there are.
With the recap, I almost feel like I want to pre-record the recap because as I'm recapping,
I'm looking at
I'm
studying my sheet. I'm studying my sheet. Go ahead.
And you're chomping
as I was
pretzels.
chewing, I'm like hearing it in my head. I'm like, am I hearing it in my head or in my headphones? I can't tell.
You're fucking
Go ahead,
nut, dude.
Sorry.
So and Gloom climbed up one tower, and Meecho climbed up the other tower, and they were.
Then we went back down, didn't we? Because I was like, what are we doing in this tower?
I don't think we got that far yet, so that's where I'm going to leave us off. I think
I remember looking at the top and like there's hatches, but they were all closed.
Everything was closed, yeah. And so you're saying you
doing like no openings, and I think I yelled something to Gloom, and Gloom's like, "I'm up in the other tower," and whatever, something like that.
All right, so here we are. What do you do?
No, I went back down. Didn't I go back down and ask the length of the hose? And you told me it was 3
before
feet,
you went up the tower, you asked the length of the hose.
Yeah. Oh, and it was only 3 feet.
You also
right?
found some cylindrical things that you did nothing with.
Cylindrical things.
Yeah.
I take a quick scan of the area.
Okay. So
looking around for anything useful against this tank. I'm either looking for something explosive. The tank is made of steel, and it doesn't have any noticeable openings. It's got little slits that, from what I understand, you stop me if I'm wrong at any point here, that they could use to kind of peer out of. But I mean, trying to make a shot through a slit or something like that, and there's no even guarantee that there's even anyone behind that slit. They may just be like little ports in there. So you're not shooting at slits. You're not taking pot shots at the steel. There's even throwing. I was thinking of. Should I tell you what I was thinking of doing, or that's probably a bad idea to tell the GM what you're thinking of doing? I don't know. But I asked about the length of the hose because I was going to try and get over the fence. You said the hose of the petrol,
yeah.
the petrol hose is only 3 feet long,
3 or 4 feet long,
3 or 4 feet long.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle, so it's not something that
closer to the cave than to the gate.
I can't shoot it over the fence.
No.
Okay.
You do have a number of, like I said, containers, like jerry
cans of filled with fuel,
some kind of fuel or alcohol.
Are there any ladders that are on the fence side?
There are ladders on the fence side that lead to a small platform that kind of overlooks.
Okay, so that being the case, if there is something like that, what I would do is grab a petrol can that's full and make my way up one of those ladders towards the platform.
Okay.
And get up there, and what do I see?
All right, make a really quick strength check. DC, let's say 12.
Am I over or under on this?
You want to go?
Fucking hit the wire.
Okay. You want to be high. What's your strength? Do you have any bonuses to strength? Do you have any lift or carry skill? Any kind of bonuses?
I have a +2 strength, but
okay, so that gets you to 7.
And then carry. Geez, yeah, I have strong as an ox.
Okay.
Does that give me anything?
Anything in there that says you can? I know you can lift more.
Yeah, I'm strong. I have strong as an ox level 1. Only level 1. If there's level 2.
No, you haven't leveled it up yet.
I haven't leveled it up yet.
So you're climbing up the ladder. While you're doing it, the top of the can is open, and some of the fuel is spilling out, sloshing out of the top of this thing as you're climbing up the ladder. It's difficult to climb up. I mean, you're strong, but to hold a jerry can in one hand while you're climbing up a ladder is a tricky feat, and you manage to spill some fuel down your arm. Some gets on your pant leg.
Okay.
As you climb to the top of the wall.
All right. Now, when I get up to the top of the wall and I look out, do I see anything?
All right. So you can see, and as you're climbing up that ladder, Gloom see kind of slides down the ladder to one of the towers. You know how you might grab it and just kind of slide down the side
like a fireman
quickly. And he's running around as you run past Elwyn and Rowan as they're trying to bind up Bundy's, who's laying seemingly unconscious in a pool of his own blood, as his lifeblood is seeping out of him from numerous bullet holes. Frank is dragging the 3 bodies off to the side that were killed.
The enemy, the guys who shot. Okay.
And Gloom comes down the ladder and he starts moving towards you as you reach the top. And you peer over the top of the fence and you can see the device is starting to maneuver. And it's very tricky between the woods and the gate, turning itself so that the flame ejectors are... I mean, let's see. If the gate is here, it's probably another 15 degrees or so. And it looks like they're only turning a few degrees at a time. They're literally having to turn this thing so that they can get these flame ejectors pointed towards the gate somewhat.
Okay. I take the can of fuel and I just chuck it at the tank.
Okay.
I make sure the thing is unscrewed. I want the top. I want it open.
Okay.
The idea is that I want to get as much fuel on top of this tank as possible, as well as get the container in the way of this tank. I'm trying to just douse this thing with as much fuel as possible.
All right. I mean, you're pretty strong. Do you have any skills that are going to help you throw something?
Let me switch to my reading glasses.
Okay, switch to your reading glasses.
Okay. Survival, jump, climb, hide, intimidate, jump, move silently, spot, swim. Nope. No, other than strength, all I have going for me is strength and dexterity.
All right. I'm going to have you make a strength check DC 15.
And strong as an ox.
I mean, I think you're strong enough to be able to throw a jerry can, which is not something that...
Feats and abilities, I have archaic weapons. Okay. Like a trebuchet. This can.
No, I mean, like that would be like a gunpowder weapon would be archaic weapons.
Really? Oh,
or actually, no, that's like swords. Archaic weapons is swords.
I think trucking things is pretty archaic.
I think that's flimsy.
I can only ask, right?
So the close as you need a 15 or more to hit this thing. You're not going to hit it in the middle. The best you're going to do is hit it towards the front.
How many feet away is this thing? I should have asked that. Probably.
I would say it's probably a good 6 to 8 feet away. You're really going to have to chuck it to get it there.
How big is it?
The entire length of the entire machine?
No, the can.
Well, it's like a jerry can filled with gas.
Jerry can that's like what, 10 gallons?
Maybe it's not completely full. Maybe it's like 8 gallons, but it's
8 gallons
of fuel. That's heavy, dude. That's what I'm saying. But you're strong as an ox.
I mean, the ones at home are only 5. Jerry can is bigger than the ones at home.
I have ones that are like 2.5 that are heavy as fuck. So yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's a metal can too.
It's a metal can, so it's 5. The 5 gallon is what I have.
But I feel like you're desperate. Heavy. You're strong as an ox. So I'm going to give you a better shot.
I'm 6'1", 224. I'm strong as an ox.
I'm going to give you a 15 or higher. You've got that ends up being like.
Okay, yeah, my strength modifier.
You get +2 for strength. That's it. So you need a 13 or higher.
Oh,
so you did it. You hit it with a 14. So. The can.
13 or higher. Oh, that's right. Yeah, plus 2, 12.
14. So you hit it and it hits.
I thought I needed to roll a 13 or higher.
You chuck it and it kind of spins on its side, almost like a frisbee. You fling your hand back and you just whip it with as much as you can, and it's spinning like this, and gas is kind of going out of it while it's spinning, and it hits the nose of the thing.
It's probably a bad idea.
And kind of flips over. It maybe lands about.
So I hit it though. You said
4 feet up the nose, and then it falls. Now, high or low for favorable results?
I'm gonna go low.
That's high because 10 or less would be low.
10, okay.
So it hits the nose. It falls, and you're looking like it might land on the treads and start to spill out, but it actually falls down the tread to the side, and starts to leak out into the ground. But
So there's some fuel
on it and around
around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It would have been better if
Are
it
there
hit
any
the base.
more jerry? I turn around.
There are
and
three.
I look around.
There are 3 more jerry cans. Can you make a quick spot roll, really quick?
8 plus 7 is what? 15.
15. Okay. So after you chuck it and it hits it, and you hear the thunk of the jerry can hitting the side, and the thunk as it hits the side, then it falls to the ground. The gas is pooling around the front treads. You see in the top, something slides back, and you could see a hole in the rear of this thing, probably about 16 or 17 feet away from you. And this 4-inch diameter tube that's pointing straight up just comes up through the hole in the air, and it's about 4 feet high. And it's now right almost at the ass end of this thing. Something slides back.
And
there's a hole tube there, and a huge tube that's pointing straight up.
And it goes up about 4 feet.
It goes up about 4 feet.
Gloom.
Yeah, and you look down, and he's at the base of the ladder.
Are you good at basketball?
I'm
like kidding.
What's basketball?
Help me get these gas containers up here.
Okay.
So I run down.
Okay.
I grab one with the hoping that Gloom understands to follow me with the second one, so we get like 2.
Okay, so he runs and picks one up too, and runs to the base of the ladder.
So I can't throw this thing 16, 17 feet. Oh, man.
I mean, you got at least a 20-something% chance of hitting, just mathematically.
I'd like to wing this next can
Okay.
at that apparatus that just.
Oh, you
opened
can't
up.
throw it that far because it's at the back.
It's at the back of the thing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna just throw another one.
All right. Make another roll. Pray you don't get a 1.
What? Pray I don't get a 1? I got a 1.
Okay. Roll that again.
Here's the damn paper.
Okay.
12, 14.
So you don't get a double critical, but you throw it, and actually you go
that's
to
2 bad rolls because that's stupid. Hitting the stupid paper.
Yeah, you gotta manage your space here, partner. So you go to throw it. Let's see, with a 1, you didn't get a critical failure, but so basically it hits the edge of the wall and just kind of tumbles and falls over at the base of the gate, and it starts going.
So it's just pouring out.
It's pouring out right in. Yeah, and now the pool from the treads are starting to meet the pool from the base of the gate.
Okay.
And Gloom is halfway up the ladder, huffing and puffing. He's, what are you going to do with this thing? Are you just throwing this stuff away, or what? This is heavy. Do you have any like light flame or something like that? Lighter? I have an igniter. What do you want to do? You have an igniter?
Oh, the front gate. What's it made of?
It's like aluminum, steel.
Is it a solid gate or is it slats? Or something?
It's solid, like plating over the outside, but it looks like it's chain link on the back side of it, so it's just kind of strapped up on top of it.
So it's like maybe how thick is the aluminum plating?
Maybe half an inch. Maybe.
Half an inch of aluminum plating.
Yeah.
Covering some chain link
polysteel or steel facsimile or something,
covering just some chain link.
Yeah, it's not really
nothing. Not really that reinforced. From my vantage point, I look while this thing is still maneuvering into position.
Yeah, he's still trying to maneuver into position.
I look to the opening into the depot. Do I see anything? Because I've never been in there.
Well, the cave goes back a little bit, and you look like it's big enough to fit this thing backed in. So, I mean, this thing is maybe...
You said about
30, 40 feet long. It's pretty long.
Holy shit, it's that long?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, it has to have enough fuel for all these ejectors.
30-foot long thing.
Yeah, maybe 25, 30 foot long, yeah. So it needs to be able to back into that. So it was big enough for that. So you can't quite see all the way back in. There's a real dim light at the back of the tunnel.
On either side of the tower, and this is something you told me already, I don't remember. There are 2 towers.
Yep.
Up against the wall.
Minos Morgul and Olnithank.
Yes.
Sorry, that's...
Yeah.
Yes,
So
there's 2 towers.
The 2 towers, are they... They had fuel canisters in them. They were like 2 silos of fuel.
Think of them like like on a boat, how they have those lookout towers that you kind of stand in that are like metal, like up to your waist, like those kind of fishing towers almost. Like
okay,
and they're half bolted to the ground and half bolted to the rocks to hold them.
Crow's nest, they call it.
Crow's nest. Yes, that's the term. I was in
You're
a
Navy.
Yeah, but I wasn't a topside. But
we probably didn't have many crow's nests either.
I don't think we have anything called a crow's nest. We had the mizzen mast, the main mast. Anyways, so it's more like some kind of lookout / sniper towers.
There's no fuel towers as part of those things.
Well, no, below it you have those huge drums that are obviously filled with some kind of fuel. Yeah, and they line the whole length of that tunnel as far as you can see back, which is maybe only about 12 feet, 13 feet.
I'm having trouble visiting this.
You always do.
I do.
Ken Terrace?
Because I see a ladder going up to a crow's nest, and then now I have canisters that go back into the tunnel.
The fence is kind of like this, right against this rock wall, right? You have 2 towers, one on the left side and one on the right side. These are probably about, what did we say, about maybe 25-foot towers, right? With the little hand-over-hand ladder. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, it's got to be a regular ladder because I just said Gloom slid down it. So with a regular ladder, and these kind of waist-high, protects you to the waist with this steel skirting. You also have barbed wire all the way around the top. And in here you have this this tunnel, right?
Right.
This is where they would park this thing. And lining this tunnel, there's these huge...
Okay, so the canisters are in the tunnel.
In the tunnel, they're kind of... These
There
are kind of
any
sticking
canisters
out.
outside of the tunnel.
Not these big, those big drum things that store a ton of fuel. And then you also
Is
have...
there any fuel in that area?
No, this is where the jerry cans were. There were 4 of them. You have now moved 3 of them.
Two of them.
2 of them, and Gloom has 1.
Gloom has 1.
I'm
going to run down.
This has a hose, and this has a hose. Like I said, they're about 4 feet. And then you have all these crates filled with stuff in here, and then in the, like I said, you
haven't
can't see all the way
any
back.
of those crates.
Well,
yet.
you looked into one, and there was some kind of cylindrical object.
I did.
You did, yeah.
A cylindrical object? I didn't know what it was.
Because you said to Gloom, "What are these things?"
And he didn't know.
He's like, "I'm up in the tower." So.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. So Gloom, I asked Gloom to hand me the canister because I'm still on top of it.
Okay, so
platform.
he hands you the thing. Yeah.
And I go to toss that one, but before I toss it, I go check that cylinder that I was pointing at before.
The cylinder?
Yeah, I pulled the cylinder out of a crate.
The little ball shaped thing.
Yeah, go look at it and see if you can figure that out.
Okay.
I'm going to toss these damn canisters, so I toss the other canister.
Okay,
out.
make another strength roll. 10 with a +2. You gotta stay away from that wire, dude. So you fling the canister, it flies about halfway to there and hits the ground, and it starts to... Boom, boom, boom.
I run down and try and get the other canister, too.
So Gloom runs over to the crate.
I'm trying to get rid of these canisters.
Pushes the lid off. And he pulls up, he's like, "Well, these things look fun."
What are they?
Some kind of grenade or something.
Get out of freaking town.
Yeah.
All right. You think you can figure out how to shoot it?
You don't shoot it, you just throw them.
All right. Well, can you throw one right?
Oh, yeah, I could throw these.
Now. Yeah. Are there any more? What's in those in the crate?
Probably another 6 of them.
All right. Can you hand me one? Can you show me how it works? I'll watch you.
You just pull the pin.
Right.
Hold the spoon.
Spoon?
There's a little plate that you have to hold.
Oh, okay.
That's the fuse, right? So
yeah.
You pull the pin, you're ready to go, right? Once you pull the pin, you reach your hand back and you throw it. That little spoon is going to come off, and then it's going to do whatever it does. I don't know what these things. Hold on, let me make a quick intelligence. I don't know if you can figure out what these things do. I've got a 14 intelligence. So that's
thank God he knew what those things are.
Actually, do I have like explosives or something?
Oh, I got a big mouth. This segment brought to you by Snyder's Sourdough Pretzels.
The sourdough pretzels, they crunch like a motherfucker. All right. So I don't have anything explosive. I'll make a straight up intelligence roll. Yeah, I don't know. These things all look the same. There's no markings on them, so
it doesn't matter.
This is what we got.
It's what we have. It's better than nothing. Just grab 2 of them, go up on top, just throw them. Okay. Well, I'm strong as an ox. I should be able to carry 1 canister and 1 cylinder.
Well, it's a grenade, so it's just a grenade.
It's a small. I don't know the size of them. I don't know.
They're like the size of a baseball.
Okay.
I meant to say spherical, not cylindrical.
Okay.
Maybe I even said spherical, but we were talking about these cylinders. So
okay. So I'm going to grab 2 grenades if I can.
Okay.
And a canister.
You can grab 4 if you want.
I'll grab 4 grenades and a canister and go back up on top.
Okay, so you shove the 4 grenades kind of in your pocket of your coveralls or whatever, and you lugging this thing up. Meanwhile, Gloom gets to the top, and as he crests the top of the ladder, you hear punk, and then you see something going in the air really fast, spinning, and as it gets about 6 feet in the air, sparks and smoke, and it starts to make this super loud, like howling noise as it like spins into the air, and it leaves this huge trail of orange smoke, and it goes up about 75, 80 feet into the air, and it's howling the whole way up, and then it goes like that into the sky. It just kind of explodes, and the whole sky is like filled with this giant orange smoke above you.
Okay. I don't know what that was, but I start chucking everything in my hands. So,
okay. Well, Gloom is at the top of the ladder. You still have to climb the ladder. He's going to throw the 1 grenade that he has, and we'll see how he does. And then you will climb, and you'll have a shot next round to throw.
Okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, as you run past, you see Elwyn starts screaming, "No, no!" And you can see him just feverishly working on Bundy's, who is looking very pale and ashen. And Elwyn's running around looking from crate to crate for something.
Okay.
As his life is leaking out of him onto the dirt of this shitty little fucking refueling station. And Frank has run back into here and disappeared.
Frank
into the cave, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now Gloom is going to throw the grenade.
Okay.
And I guess I'm assuming he's going to aim for the tank, just in general, just to try to... You know what? Maybe he's going to try to throw it in that fucking hole in the back.
Might as well.
Okay, so well, grenades
But
are...
if he misses, he ends up hitting the tank.
Yeah. Trying to think if I have anything special to roll, but I don't think I do for something like this. Not really crazy about this. He's got a +6 attack bonus when he's throwing something. I don't see anything here though. So I'm gonna roll +6, and he's trying to make it in the hole, so that's like a DC 20. So or maybe higher. How hard do you think that would be?
A 16-foot into a 4-foot cylinder hole?
Yeah.
I mean, the free throw line at a basketball net, the rim's over you, and it's only how big? And that's what, 12 feet, 14 feet?
Yeah.
16 feet isn't far.
Okay, so let's call it a DC. Let's call it a DC 20. That's still really fucking hard. I have a plus.
I mean, I don't know if I would get it in, but
well, he has a +6 with his dexterity, so he really needs a 14 or higher to make it in the hole. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm surprised they opened that up. Wait, what was it?
So he needed a 14 or higher with his +6.
And he rolled
I rolled a 13 for a 19. So you see, you come up to the top of the ladder. Gloom reaches back, he pulls the pin on this thing, and he throws it, and you see it fly, like magically. It's flying right towards the fucking hole.
Right.
And it hits the lip of the tube.
Oh.
It falls down the other side. And when it hits the ground, you hear... And it just starts to spit. It's just smoke starts coming out of this fucking thing like crazy.
So it's a smoke grenade?
Would appear so, yeah.
So it's just blowing smoke.
Just blowing smoke, yeah. Dark, acrid black smoke at the rear part of this thing. He overthrew it, landed over it and behind it, kind of, so it's smoking between the device and the woods that you guys just came from.
All right, I get up on top.
So that would be, hold on, let's draw this out because we're here. So this thing is like this tapered dick looking thing. You have a hole here, right? This tube is there. You also have this little catwalk that goes along this.
Right, we're up there throwing
with a ladder here.
Smoke
right?
fucking grenades.
And Gloom is here, and he just chucked this grenade, and it went bink, and it fell here, and this is
so now there's a bunch of black smoke
over there. Yeah. And this is like a tree line over here. Actually, the tree line is like here.
Fucking smoke grenades are fucking useless. This fucking thing. I look at all 4 of my grenades. Do they all have the same markings on them?
They all kind of look a little bit different.
They do.
Yeah.
Can I examine the 4 markings? Can you tell me anything about them?
What's your intelligence? Do you know how to read?
No, I don't have a reading skill.
And I don't think you would know how to read either.
I probably wouldn't. Well, I mean, 9 years old. I know elementary was when I got taken away. But
yeah, but elementary for this world would be very, very basic.
Right.
Doubtful
yeah, exactly.
that you knew how to read.
Even 9-year-olds in this society could read a little bit, but not.
So what's your ranged attack anyways? Your plus for ranged?
5.
+5.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's not bad. You're 1 worse than Gloom. You have the same amount of chance.
Yeah, I have.
So you have a jerry can.
+1 dexterity.
You have the last jerry can in one hand, and you have a grenade in the other.
No, but I was trying to read the 4 of them, not read them, but look at the 4 of them to see if I see any markings on them of distinction.
There's nothing that make an intelligence roll.
20.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. You pick out a couple that look like there's a picture
You don't
on
have to
there.
tell me what they mean. Like, in other words, what
You
I'm trying to do? I'm trying to sort them. So, like, if I have 2 squares and 2 triangles, and I throw a triangle and it's smoke, the next one I want to try and throw a square.
Well, you have
Like, just very basic reasoning.
You have 2 that are more like look like cans, which is the one that Gloom just threw, and then you have one that looks round, and the other one looks round too, but it's got like ridges on it.
So I have a round. Let me write this down.
So here's what it looks like. You have one that's completely round
with
like a pin in it.
Oh, you mean the shape of this is not markings on the grenades. This is the way they look.
This is just the way that they look. And then you got a couple that look like these.
So there's a round with a thing.
Yep. There's one that looks kind of pineapple-y with a thing.
Okay.
And then there's 2 that look like cans, and this is the one that actually gloomed through. That was kind of cylindrical, I guess, as I described it. So
okay. So I mean, I'm going to throw the Christmas tree looking one.
This one, the one looks like a pineapple.
I don't. Yeah.
All
Why
right,
not?
you pull the
See
pin
what
and
it does.
throw it. Give me what are you aiming for?
I'll aim for the hole.
Okay. So you need a DC 20. So you need a 15.
I'm adding a plus in 15 or higher.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so 12.
12.
No, 16.
16. So you throw it and it lands here. And a couple seconds later, boom! And you can hear metal shavings hit off of this thing as like sparks ping, hit the side of it as this thing blows up. But there's no significant damage. Just smoke clears and there's nothing really.
Okay. Do I have any more of those?
You have not of that one, no.
So what I have left is 2 of these cans.
Yep.
And this one.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if so. Then I'd like to get. Let me throw this can of fuel again.
Okay. Well, it's not your turn. But when your turn comes, you can throw the can of fuel.
Yeah, I want to get it out of here.
Yep. All right. So this guy continues to turn, and he moves a few more degrees, maybe to where the nose is just about here. Down here is where the 3 are working on Bundy's.
Okay.
Just at the foot of the ladder. Frank continues to disappear into the tunnel. Gloom is at the foot of the ladder. Like, what do you want me to do?
Is he going to move on his own, or do I have to tell him what to do?
Well, he's waiting to see what happened. He's looking up like, what happened with the grenade?
Right.
Because he can't see anything because he's inside the gate.
He's throwing from inside the gate.
Oh, no, sorry. You're right. He's next to you. He's next to you.
Tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, he looks at you like, oh, it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything.
Which one's he? Only has one.
He
right?
only had the one. Yeah. So, as you guys are standing here, you can hear something behind this thing going like a hydraulic-y whining noise at the back of it.
Wait, it's not my turn. I mean, it's his turn. Can I hand him a grenade?
You can, yeah.
So I hand him the round grenade.
Okay. He's going to take the round grenade and throw it, I guess.
Again, that's what he rolled last time.
He throws it again, yeah, and it bling, and this time it hits this side and bounces off, and now it's like
now there's smoke over there.
Yep, and it goes for a few rounds. Like this is still emitting smoke. It got actually bigger. So the whole ass end of this thing is engulfed in smoke. It's safe to say by next turn you won't be able to see what's going on.
So this round one is also smoke?
Oh no, you're right. Sorry. That is another one that goes punk,
okay,
and it explodes here. But you can see an explosion. But once again, no damage. He missed.
Nothing.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. That's not
and all I have left are those 2 things.
2 that you are pretty sure are smoke.
Right. All right. Gloom. I put the 2 smoke ones down.
Yep.
Let's try and get 2 of those. Let's try and get as many of those other ones as we can.
Okay.
Because if we keep throwing smoke ones and we keep missing, soon we're not going to see the fucking tank.
Yep. So one can is here, and this part of the thing is kind of, and it's actually turned. So now this is actually underneath this. The other can is here at the base of the thing, and it's at the base of the gate, and it's
like oozing some shit.
It's leaking, yeah.
All right. I just want to throw again. I'm trying to douse this thing, and I want to throw towards the middle of this fucking thing to get as much fuel on it as I can.
Right. And I said this was what, a DC 15. Is that what I gave you?
Yeah, I think that to get it inside the thing was a 20. That's like a
Well, this, yeah. So it's 15. So give me, chuck it and give me a DC 15.
18.
All right. So you fling this thing and
Plus 2 does 20.
it hits here on the cone, high or low for favorable results.
High.
Low. So this one bounces off and falls over here on the opposite side, and it's. But this whole front now is pretty.
The whole front is pretty well wet,
coated
right?
with fuel of some kind. Yeah.
Okay.
It did not land on the treads, which kind of stick out underneath this thing.
Okay.
Although, and this is kind of pushing the can this way, so it's sitting right next to the tread here.
All right. So I mean, Gloom already ran down. My plan is to find more of those other grenades.
Okay. No, Gloom didn't run down. He pulls his rifle out, and you see him looking through his pockets for something. He's doing something.
I run down looking for grenades.
All right. So you run down and you run back over to this crate. Elwyn is just, like I said, crying. He's upset, and the other kid is just pumping on Bundy's chest as hard as he can. And he's just like, no, stop. And he's, binding his wounds, and he's trying to heal him, but you can just see him getting grayer and grayer. All right. This thing makes another little turn, and it looks like the flame projectors are, like I said, right here, lined with just to the right of the center part of these two gates. You think that next turn, if something miraculous doesn't happen, they may have a shot to just flood this entire center thing with flames. You're not really sure how this fence is going to hold up.
Okay. I'm in the crate. What happened?
You run to the crate and you open it up. There's 8 other varying grenades. Things are moving.
Do I see any more of these two?
High or low for favorable results?
High.
Okay, yeah, you see 3 more of those ones that look cylindrical or pineapple-y looking. The rest of them are smoke. There's another 6 smoke.
Okay, I'm going to grab the 3 pineapple-ys.
Okay, 3 pineapples.
And I'm going to run back on top of the catwalk.
Okay. All right.
As I'm running to the thing, I yell to the 3 of them to get back into the cave.
Okay. So they kind of start to drag Bundy's back towards the opening of the cave. They get right about to here on their turn. About 3/4 of the way there, I would say. And as you reach the top, you see that Gloom has one of the large pieces of flèche that he shoots from his gun. Mm-hmm. And you see him tying like a wire to something that's dangling off the end of it.
Okay.
And he loads it into his gun.
I wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
About my charge pistol.
Okay.
What is that? What type of charge? Like if I were to shoot at fuel, like is this charge pistol like actually have electrical charge? Is it charge pistol because of the way it's the mechanism of shooting
of discharge? Yeah.
Okay, so it shoots a regular projectile.
It shoots a regular projectile.
Okay.
You would have to hit something metal and have it ricochet to the point that a spark would be enough and make it all the way to the ground.
Now in the movies, that's pretty common. What is that in the Dungeons and Dragons world, the D20 world? Is that bullshit?
Or is that completely bullshit? I think we can go theatrical when it comes to things like that for the sake of, it's an action movie. It's what we're in.
Okay,
right now.
Well, so no.
It's worth a shot.
I'm trying to decide if I wanted to create like a fire, with enough fuel sitting on that metal. If we can get it all ignited, we can make it super uncomfortable to be inside that tank. If it's just fucking heating up like a fucking radiator,
would be an awful lot.
Then
you can't say anything. Make a quick.
But I could also would really suck for them if I got one of those pineapples in that hole. I think it would suck for them too.
Yes. Make a quick spot check.
18.
Okay, you can hear boots on something metal back here at the back of this thing. like somebody running across the metal plate or something.
I hear what sounds like someone running in the back of inside the tank.
Or maybe out of the back of the tank, more appropriately.
I hear it. I don't see anything.
You don't see anything yet, no. I mean, the nice thing about a tank is that you use it for cover, especially if you're being attacked.
Right.
But it certainly sounds like between the hydraulic sound and the boots that the back of this thing opened up and some people are coming out of it. Yeah. And as that happens too, you hear another thing.
Did I throw that last canister of fuel?
It wasn't your turn yet.
Oh, wasn't my turn.
You did. You threw the last.
I threw it and went over there. Yes.
One's here, and one's here.
Okay.
And then as you're doing that, you hear another one of those things goes off into the sky, and like I said, you can hear it making a ton. It makes a ton of noise all the way up to 75 feet in the air, and then it explodes again. And there's just basically this huge plume of orange smoke just pointing, almost like an arrow straight down.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is they're calling for help.
It certainly seemed like it. Yeah.
I threw the canister.
You did, yeah.
Okay, so now I am going.
There's one canister downstairs.
I don't see. I saw people like run out, but I don't see.
You heard people run.
I heard people run out, but I don't see where they were.
Boots across the metal.
So I'm going to chuck another one of those pineapple things towards that hole.
Okay. You need a 20.
16 plus 5 is 21.
All right. So you throw it. It hits the lip for a second, and you think it's going to bounce off again, and it hits the other side, and then drops right in the hole.
Okay.
And you hear boom, boom, and then smoke just comes pouring out of the top of that hole.
Okay. Gloom, you see that I got it in?
Good job. Just hold on a second. And he raises his rifle up,
right?
And you hear that crack, like it's kind of a silent for a gun going off, and the thing goes flying, and you notice as it's going flying off the side of it, hanging off the side of this thing is Gloom's igniter off the side of the barb, the flèche barb that he's shooting, one of the big ones. And you see it go, leaves the end of his thing with this like this flare shooting out of the side of it.
Right.
He has one shot.
13.
Plus 6 is a 19.
So he shot like some sort of like tracer round. Some homemade tracer.
Almost like he said he had an igniter. Remember that was like a lighter that shoots a torch out of the side of it? It was like a little stick like this that he used to light a fire. At one point, you guys used it. He tied it with a wire to a piece of flèche and fired it, and you see it land right in this. It hits that.
Oh, he hit that tank.
Yeah,
he was shooting for the tank. Okay,
yep.
Sweet. What happened?
And then it ignites the minute it hits it. And this.
So now that whole front of the tank is on fire.
Yeah. I only got one igniter though, so that's all we got. So the whole thing just is engulfed. This slowly the flame starts rolling down towards the gate, and this canister. Okay. That's your round. That's my round.
They started a fire at our exit.
You started a fire at your only exit. Yeah. And as you look up, and we're gonna have to.
We got to run into the cave. I run into the cave.
We're going to have to roll initiative first. So, because as you look up, you see 7 guys come rounding this corner with rifles in formation, starting to move away around towards this side of the gate. Maybe actually it'll probably be more like something like that.
Oh, okay. So
in 2 lines, they're moving around the corner.
And I'm still on the catwalk?
You're on the catwalk. I'm on the catwalk. These 3 are into the mouth of the cave.
They're in the mouth of the cave, and we're about to roll for initiative right now?
We're going to roll for initiative now.
Okay.
So everybody roll. Don't forget your initiative bonuses, because I'm not going to go back if we forget our initiative bonuses.
No, geez, 10.
All right, so what's your plus for initiative? 10?
9 plus 1 is 10.
You only have a plus 1 for initiative?
Yeah. Plus 1 dex.
No. Initiative. That's it? Oh, wow. Okay. So
it's just dex. That's it. It's just really my dex plus a miscellaneous. I don't know what miscellaneous is.
Oh, so you have 10. All right. Total for Gloom is +5. He gets a 15.
How does he have +5? What's his dex?
17.
Oh, shit.
Okay. That's his thing. All right, so now we got to roll initiative for these 7 fuckos. We have a 9. Oh, shit. How did I get in the crack of that table? I've been writing on this table for weeks. And a 16. A 5. What is that? 6. A 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Goddamn kryptonite. These damn pretzels.
6. You know what my kryptonite is? Having a million cyborgs in a battle. I kind of long for something a little bit simpler. All right. So
7 is better than. What was the last time? It was like, what, 14?
It wasn't 14, but it felt like 14. Plus, at least these guys are out of the mix.
Yeah. What, the guys who ran into the cave?
They ran into the cave, yeah. All right. So here's the order. We have Mr. 17, then Mr. 16, then Gloom, then you, then the other 5 guys. These guys are sprinting and they have assault rifles. You can see that they also have some kind of armor on, so they're a little bit different than the last guys you fought. They're going to be tougher to hit. And the first guy sees us on the catwalk and caps a burst at us from his assault rifle. Chang, 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 chang. And rolls a 3. So as you're looking this way and you see them, and bullets hit all along the top of this metal fence.
Okay.
Number 16. He rolls a 5 once again. And they're moving and shooting at the same time.
Okay.
And that's probably why they're not being super effective, but this metal is just being peppered with bullets. It's Gloom's turn. He's going to turn and take 2 shots at one of the guys with his regular fléché. He rolls a 9 with a +6. That's 15. He hits one barely. And the second one is a miss. So he hits this guy for 8 points of damage. So he kind of hits him in the neck. I actually have to roll health for these guys too. Shit. I'm just going to go straight down.
Now, normally,
Yep.
I'm watching you right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm watching. I'm looking. Am I cheating?
Not really, no. I mean, whether you know how much health they have or not, I will try to describe it so you can tell how grievous the wound is. But, all right. You remember how much Gloom rolled for damage on that 2d6? It was 8 points of damage? I think it was 8. And he shot at one of these 2 guys, So 8 damage to Mr. 17 brings him down to 6 hit points.
Okay.
Hits him in the neck, and he's bleeding pretty good, but he is not down. Okay, 15, your turn at 10.
Okay. I pull out the 2 pineapple grenades.
2 left, yeah.
I toss one to Gloom.
Okay.
And then I pull the pin out of the other one in my hand, and I toss it right into the heart of them, the middle of them, trying to get as many as possible.
All right. I need you to do a DC 18 because you're doing a lot of things at the same time.
I just went like this, and then I went.
You went like this and then did that. Do you know what
Right.
a round of combat is like? Literally like
I want
3
him to
seconds.
have one. I can't let him have one.
You can, but you're going to take a
damage.
penalty on your throw.
How much is the penalty on my throw?
You're
Can I
taking a
change my
3-point penalty on your
mind?
throw.
A 3-point? Can I change my mind?
Sure.
Okay. Fuck giving Gloom. I just throw.
Okay.
What if I threw both of them at once?
You can't pull the pin on 2 grenades at the same time.
Okay. All right. I'll throw one.
Okay.
I mean, it's only. I was going to give it to him because he's got +6 and I got +5. But
Well, you're splitting hairs on a +1 for a 3-point. Yeah.
and I thought it just looked cool, like
It would.
Well,
You
it's
can
cool in a
you
movie,
can
but
sacrifice
fuck it.
style.
Style for not for -3. Okay, 17
You would have hit anyways, probably.
plus 5 is 23.
All
22.
Right. All right. So you throw it back in here,
Right in the middle, yeah.
or in the
I
middle
hit that
here.
guy in the head. Yeah, right there. Right, not that guy in the middle, right in his head.
All right. All right. So you land the grenade. Let's see. How do I want to do this? You're aiming for here. Let's see what we can do here. This is not an 8-sided. This is an 8-sided. All right. So it lands right between these two guys on the back left.
Okay.
The one guy kind of looks down for a second and it goes boom. Roll 3d6 for damage.
3.
And you're going to do damage to 2 of them at 3d6 and 2 of them at 1d6. We're going to call it because they're far enough away.
But I got to get another d6.
Well, here, use this.
Okay.
You don't get to use that roll. I don't know how great it was or not, but
all right. Ugh. 5.
5 to 2 of them. All right.
That's like one of the lowest rolls you could fucking do. Take this stupid dice back. Look at my other thing.
All right. So this guy is down to 10. He took some damage, and then this guy's down to 9. Okay. And then roll 1d6 for 2 other guys.
4.
All right. These 2 guys are down to 2. And as you throw the grenade that explodes, you see the flames once again. They're expanded more, and they're even closer to the edge of the gate now. By next round, the flames will be at this canister at the foot of the gate. High or low for favorable results.
That's like I planted an explosive for them to blow up the gate. High.
Okay.
Oh, good. Cool. What
So the fire goes into this canister, and then it just kind of turns into a flamethrower. Like the canister doesn't actually explode.
Okay.
But flame is kind of belching out of the side of it, and the can is getting hot. You can see it start to turn red. This first can that you threw.
Okay, so there's a fire there, and there's 2 cans there. One by the gate. The fire didn't reach that one.
And there's a can over here.
The other can. Oh, that other can isn't on fire yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay, so one of the 2. One of the.
So the
3
flame
cans
is going to
on fire.
engulf this next round and this the following round. The one at the foot of the gate the following round. So
okay.
We also have to finish with these guys. Number 9 is going to move and fire. He rolls a 12. So once again, bullets are just skittering all off of that wall. That's Mr. 9. Mr. 6 goes. He's going to move up. He's one of the guys that's hurt. He's kind of limping. Actually, no, he's going to shoot. He shoots, and he rolls a 17. What is your
20?
20. Okay, so he shoots, and you can feel the bullet kind of graze your chest plate, but it doesn't really do any damage to you. Now we got to do number 5. Oof. This guy comes up and he takes a couple shots, and he's aiming at Gloom, and he hits with a 20 with a +1. That's a 21. And Gloom, his defense is a 19. So Gloom gets hit for 4 points of damage.
Now, you don't have to roll for critical?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
20?
Sorry. Yeah, jeez. I rolled a 17. So he took 3 points of damage. He is down to 4. He's got 7 points of damage now. Okay. And then the last guy is at 3. He rolls a 5. They're starting to punch holes in this metal over here now. It's kind of getting thin since they've been hitting it.
They're moving to it.
They're moving, yeah. A couple of them are really hurt really bad. Like one of them is bleeding pretty much, and he's holding his side, which is why he's so ineffective in his shooting. and the other one is, his leg is kind of hurt, so he's limping too. Okay. Back around to Gloom, and from inside the tunnel, you hear Frank yell, "Guys, get into the tunnel!" So it's Gloom's turn. So he turns and looks at you and kind of jumps off of this thing. It's like 8 feet. He jumps off to maybe like 10 feet. He jumps off to the ground because you're mostly hidden by the fence too, on this platform. And he jumps to the ground and starts sprinting for the cave. He doesn't get very far, maybe about 4 or 5 feet after he jumps down towards the cave. Yeah. So you're up there by yourself now.
I turn around. I go, "Where you wusses going?" I have the grenade in my hand. I can't. All right. I'm gonna trust Frank. I'm gonna run down.
You can see that the fuel is running under the bottom of the gate.
And Gloom and Frank. See, maybe if Gloom just I'll follow Gloom.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
All right. So you jump down. Give me a dex roll.
5, 6.
All right. So you land and you manage to run a little bit further. Now nobody has any visual on anything. So you don't know what's going on. So I'm going to describe everything else and only in sounds because you cannot see what's happening. High or low for favorable results?
High. Yes.
13. Okay. So this thing has maneuvered now to where it's pointed. The nose of this is pointed right at the center of this gate. You hit the ground and you start to run and you hear is one of the cans. You're assuming this one explodes right near the treads. And you could hear cling, clang, like something come off the track as the can exploded. Okay. You can also hear a lot of yelling and screaming from outside as people get, probably you're assuming, closer to the...
Right, sure.
Closer to the fence.
Okay.
And you could hear screaming from inside the tank. Shit. And then you can hear the engine kind of kick up into a different kind of whine, like...
I wonder if I killed anybody with that pineapple grenade in that hole, or if I just damaged the flare.
I wonder.
So we're still running. This point, we're just running into the cave. So at this point,
Gloom hits his stride, and he's taking huge steps, and
he's got a mile in front of me.
Faster.
He's like my wife at Disney World.
My wife at Disney World. That's classic, dude. So yeah, you see him. He breaks into the in the neck of the kind of the opening. He's into the darkness quickly, like he moved fast. Right. And you're right behind him. You make it right about to here. Once again, you can hear these guys getting closer to the gate. And high or low for favorable results?
High.
And you hear another teeth. Oh wait, actually no. Favorable results will be different. So you hear
what? Do you mean? What?
Well, favorable
high
results
is over 10. It was 11.
It would have, but in this instance, favorable results would be this can doesn't explode, right?
Oh yes, because that's by the gate.
Yeah. So you once again hear that as the flames get into the canister and it starts to belch out.
It's belching flames.
Yeah, but you can also see, like I said, the liquid has continued to drip underneath, and the flames are now rolling under the gate.
Okay. So,
right, and the flames are literally licking at the sand right where Bundy's
I thought
his life's blood was draining into the sand.
My fucking strong ass would have been able to throw these fucking things a little further. Dude, he fucking rolled a 1 and you dropped the damn thing. Nothing you can do about that.
Okay. So now you continue to run. Gloom is running he disappears into the cave, and you run into the cave, and you can now see that the cave continues on. There's very dim kind of lighting that go down the length of the cave that you really can't see from outside the cave. Mm-hmm. And it's lined completely with these giant storage containers of fuel. And these containers look different than what was in the jerry cans because it looks like it might be whatever this ejector thing uses. It can't be the normal type of fuel. It must be some kind of jelly or something that's way more flammable. Way more dangerous.
So you have these horizontal things, and then I said this deeper in. So I'm past these.
Well, you run in, you get about past this length of this first one.
First canister?
It goes the whole length of this tunnel, and this tunnel goes back. It looks like about 30 or 40 feet.
Right, and then now I saw a new set of canisters.
Another set, and another set, and another set, and another set.
Like one on top of the other?
Yep.
Like so there's
no,
stacked.
not on top
there's
of the
like
other,
four
but
going straight.
They run along the length of this tunnel.
Right. So I know what I'm saying.
And you know what? You're right.
I have
and
canisters going one set, and then I have on top of that another set, and on top of that another set.
If you saw a cross section of the wall,
it looks like a fence made of canisters.
Actually, yeah, and there's two. There's one high and there's one low.
Okay, so there's a 2-story fence of canisters.
They're mounted to the wall of this cave, and they go the full length. So there's 4, 8, 12, 16. You count at least 20.
Okay, and I don't see anybody yet. Unless he's darkness in front of me.
You can see gloom disappearing further into the darkness, but that's about
Frank.
it.
Do I see Frank yet?
You don't see anybody.
Okay,
yet,
so
no.
I'm just gonna keep running.
Okay, so you get about halfway. You get about right about to there, about a quarter of the way to that second set of tanks, and you hear, and you can hear explosions as something is banging against this fence over here, like they're trying to get in.
Okay.
The flames continue to lick under the fence, and you guys are running further back into the tunnel. Okay. Just then you see a light flick on, like a flashlight at the way back of the tunnel, and you can see Frank, and you can see them dragging Bundy's up a ladder that's going up at the back of this tunnel.
Oh, there's a ladder. Okay, that's good.
And it's disappearing into the rock overhead.
Okay.
And Elwyn and Rowan are lifting Bundy's up this ladder, and Frank's at the base of the ladder with a flashlight shining it up.
If this thing's like a man's depot, it's got to have an emergency, like fucking exit, like back door, like escape.
Would only make
thing.
sense.
Yeah, there's got to be an escape thing way out of here. So he's going up a ladder. As I'm running, because I'm still running, right? And the only light I see is Frank that he's pointing it at a ladder. He's pointing it up.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole because I have a flashlight. Can I pull it out? A flashlight out when I'm running?
You can pull the flashlight when you're running. Yeah.
So I pull the flashlight out when I'm running and turn it on.
Okay. So
just to see if I see anything.
So you pull the flashlight out when you're running, and it shines like maybe 20, 25 feet in front of you, and you can see Gloom working on one of the canisters that's closest to the ladder. He's unscrewing something on the. I don't want to
maybe shutting a valve so it doesn't blow the ladder up.
You're not
Gloom. Am I? Can you hear me yet?
You can scream, yeah.
No, I'm not gonna scream.
You're not gonna scream.
I'm just gonna keep running towards them.
Okay, so you run another round, and you're now probably about 12 feet away from him. You can now hear the fence is coming down out here.
Oh shit!
As these 7 guys kind of come over the fence, and they're in the compound. You don't hear any shooting.
Yeah, Where are they? You know what? I'm not concerned about them.
Yeah,
at all. I mean, the tank is the most concerning thing. They can't go open the fence for the tank because that whole area is on fire.
Yeah,
the tank needs to still get through there. Those guys are half dead. Some of them. I mean, we did some damage to those guys. I think I just need to get up the ladder. I mean, I don't see them shooting at these fucking tanks and blowing all of us up.
So you can see that as Gloom finishes spitting this cap, all of a sudden this very thick, viscousy, like fluid starts to flow out of the top tank, and he immediately starts working on the other one, unscrewing this thing, and it's just pouring out of this tank.
So he's dumping fuel onto the floor. It's going onto the floor,
but it's
underneath the ladder.
Thicker than that. It's right at the base of the ladder.
At the base of the ladder.
Yeah.
Do I? No. I as I'm running, I'm still running. I'm like, can I wave the flashlight around, see if I see anything?
I mean, you wave the flashlight around. Every now and then you'll see like a mesh, like net, something holding some boxes in the air, or There's a hammock over here. There's like a box of looks like tools on the ground. There's just random things laying around.
In that ladder, do I see where it goes? I just see that
it just goes up and disappears into the rock above, and you now see Owen and Rowan disappear up into it.
Owen and Rowan now,
and then Frank starts climbing the ladder with his flashlight.
Frank's climbing, and so I'm going to just assume that Gloom knows what the fuck he's doing, and I'm just going to run past him.
Okay.
Because I have no I'm not going to have that conversation with him. Who knows what the fuck he's doing?
Okay.
I just going to go up the ladder.
So you get to the bottom of the ladder.
I'm pissed that we're not stealing all this fuel. He's just dumping it.
He spins the last thing, and it comes leaking out, and you're running.
I mean, that's some pretty valuable stuff in Gamble.
I would maybe think so, but yeah, I wonder. I guess the question I would ask is, where did all this fuel come from?
I don't think they stole it.
I mean, the way that it's stored, it's like it was manufactured somewhere.
Yeah.
So, fuel's leaking out of now 2 of these things. I mean, just tons of it. It's all around the floor. And you start to pull yourself up this ladder.
Okay.
As you do, you see these guys around the corner, and there's 3 guys in the cave. And you can hear them starting to run into the cave now. The first 3 of the 7.
I stop. I'm going up the ladder.
Okay.
I stop.
Okay, you stop. You're just about to go disappear into the rock that's about 12, maybe 14 feet up the ladder before it disappears into the rock. And you stop. Now, Gloom has subsequently run to the other side, and he's trying to simultaneously unscrew 2 of these tanks at the same time.
I pull out my charge pistol, and I start to just go down the ladder.
Okay.
I'm fucking pissed off.
Okay.
These assholes burned down my village.
He looks.
I'm not running away from these assholes.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm gonna fucking kill these fucking guys. That's what I'm gonna do.
You're standing in a puddle of fucking fuel.
So are you? Aren't you?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be standing here for long. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
What, is this fuel to kill those fuckers?
Potentially, maybe they won't. I mean, were they gonna come down here and start shooting their fucking guns, and they're standing in a pile of this shit? Look, sometimes you know how you hurt them. You don't hurt them by killing them. You hurt them by leaving them alive. And you take everything else that belongs to them.
I don't know. I feel much more like killing them.
All right. So as you're having this conversation, the last 2 caps come off, and more of this jelly is spilling out all over the fucking floor. And as you say that, the tank starts to belch. The flame starts to kick up, and you see... And the flames start licking in at this canister, and this whole corner of this little compound is engulfed in flames. The crate catches on fire. This crate catches on fire. The tower catches on fire.
Okay.
The wall, the tank, everything.
All right. Well,
and these guys are staying towards this side, and they're actually, you know what? They're going to stay right in the doorway. Actually, they should probably back off if the tank is firing.
Yeah.
So they're going to back down, and the tank is firing.
All right. So seeing that they're backing off and the fire's blocking my way, I jump back up. I go back up the ladder.
All right, so you go back up the ladder, and Gloom is right behind you. That was really stupid for him to fire that fire.
Who was stupid?
The tank guy, but I should have thought that through.
He shot it?
Well, he's the one who he fucking fired off the device, the flamethrower thing. All the fire projectors shot flame into this whole area. He's got guys.
Oh, I thought that was the canister.
No, that was actually the tank. The emitters on the tank.
That was fucking dumb.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb because
his guys are in there.
Yeah, and 2 of them are almost incinerated immediately. But I mean, maybe his thought is he doesn't give a fuck about it.
Right? Who get the freaking? There's a piece of guys.
2 more guys down.
I thought that was the canister that was sitting by the gate, but that was the one that I rolled a high for favorable results, so it didn't blow up.
This one blew up. This one ignited. This one ignited, and it was just shooting fire out of it. Then he literally added fire to the fire and killed 2 out of the 3 guys here, which ironically enough were 2 of the higher health guys that he had left. This guy and this guy.
Okay. So
he helped you out with his stupidity. All right. And you can hear, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to kill us all. And these guys start to back off now that this entire thing is starting to become engulfed in flame.
Right.
We're climbing up through
up the ladder.
And through the hole in the roof.
Okay.
And
I keep doing this, man.
What?
I forget I'm recording sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think I might have been off mic for I don't know how long.
No, you were fine. You're fine.
I don't know. I'm talking like this.
You're
fine. All right.
With the new levels, we should be fine.
The new levels, I try to change the levels so that way because I know we move around a lot.
Yeah. The problem is we touched the task cam. We should have probably left it up.
But I don't know. That was clipping a lot. But anyway.
We'll find out. So, you climb up and the tunnel goes on and on and on. And high or low for favorable results?
High. Yes.
All right. You hear as the first one of these tanks explodes.
Oh, shit.
And these bigger tanks. And then the one underneath it promptly explodes right after it. And it pretty much sets off a chain reaction as these things are.
So that whole fucking area is. Oh, there's a chain reaction.
It's literally starting to blow off one after another. You can hear them in different.
So the whole thing is on fire.
Yeah.
The whole front is on fire. And now the canisters are blowing up one by one into the cave.
Yep.
Where we are.
Yep.
Where gloom fucking doused the floor too, which I guess doesn't matter because
well, it might help you because maybe those tanks
they won't
explode.
explode; they'll just catch fire and we'll die of asphyxiation instead.
So you pick up the pace, I guess, up the ladder.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. Can I double time? Is there a double time?
You
move?
can double time. Yeah. So you start climbing faster. Gloom starts climbing faster, and then you hear, and the explosions kind of stop for a second, and then you hear. And then flame just starts to lick up like way lower in the tunnel, and then smoke is pouring up this tunnel because obviously it's looking for a way to get out of this the escape hatch. So you guys are climbing up, and you're probably about 10 feet away from the top. Make a Constitution check as the smoke kind of engulfs you in gloom as you're climbing up this ladder. And you're climbing for under, what's your do you have a fortitude save?
A fortitude save. Yes, I do.
To plus 3. What? To plus 3. All right, so it's a difficulty 15. So 1d20 plus 3. You need a 12.
And no Constitution added?
Nope, that's included in your fortitude save if you look at it. Fortitude is Constitution.
No, it's not.
It's your Constitution bonus.
I might not have added it. I have my base, which is 2.
Fortitude includes your base plus your ability.
My base is 2. My ability is 1.
Yep, so that makes you plus 3. Same thing as gloom.
And my Constitution, though, is plus 1.
Yep, and that's probably where your plus 1 comes from.
Oh, my ability.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And you get a bonus for your level for Constitution saves. So you need there's no and Constitution. Those numbers are already mapped out. So.
Like miscellaneous and temporary are not filled in.
Yeah, because you don't have any miscellaneous or temporary bonuses.
Okay,
so maybe
I'm
for
trying
instance,
to milk as many
just so you know, maybe for instance,
I don't know how it works.
You got bitten by a snake, but you hadn't been injected with some kind of anti-venom. That would have given you a temporary bonus, right?
Ah, that's cool. Okay.
Or maybe somebody cast a spell that gave you some kind of fortitude, right? That's what that fits into.
I get you.
Something that's a temporary bonus that's happening instantaneous at that moment and may not be all the time. Okay. So it's 15. You have a plus 3. You need a 12 or higher.
Oh, that was a 1.
No. Roll again.
17.
Okay, so you're fine.
I'm fine. I failed the Constitution.
So the smoke envelops you and you start to choke and you stop on the ladder. You're going to have to make a save every round. If you do not make the next save, you may not make it out and you may be overcome with smoke. Okay. Gloom is behind you and he also needs to make a roll at a plus 3.
Well, how does he get past me?
Well, he's not going to, but at least he won't be overcome by smoke. He rolled a 20.
He rolled a 20. And then a 1. What the hell is that?
It doesn't mean anything. It's just to see. I don't even know what a double success would be. I guess he was unaffected, but you kind of stop. He's like, hurry up. Make another Constitution save.
What's it need to be?
It needs to be a 12 or higher.
Oh, it's 5. So,
Jesus Christ. All right. 8. So he's starting to push his way up because the smoke is getting thicker and thicker. And you're almost like on his shoulders as he's trying to like push his way up the ladder to get away from the smoke. You guys have to clear maybe about 10 more feet to get out of the tunnel. Okay. Gloom's going to make his save, and he doesn't make his save, and he's coughing and choking like you were coughing and choking.
Okay.
All right. Make.
Does climbing help? Does my climb skill do anything for me?
Well, you can probably climb faster, which I
Okay.
think was helping you, but it's not going to help you overcome smoke. So
Yeah. Close the distance faster.
Make another Constitution roll.
Okay. 6.
Okay.
That's a 6, right? 6
That's
plus
a 6.
3. That's 9.
So not enough to make it out. So now the smoke has just completely enveloped the two of you.
Okay.
Gloom makes his save, so he's pushing you up. So you can feel something underneath you literally trying to force you up, and you're able to pull a few rungs up, but the smoke is just, it's burning your eyes, it's burning your throat.
Right.
You can hear screaming. You feel a pair of hands grab you and start to pull you up, and as Gloom is pushing and this thing is pulling, you start to pull up and up and up, and eventually you're pulled out of the opening and into the air, and you can see that it's Frank pulling you to safety, and Gloom makes his save, so he actually comes and falls to the ground, and you guys are coughing and choking, snot running out of your nose and tears running out of your eyes.
Good thing he made his saving rolls.
Yeah, and you are.
What happens when you overcome with smoke? You pass out.
You might pass out eventually. Yeah, and that would be bad if you're
because I had but it fell off the ladder, landed into fire.
Dead. Yes, you would have been dead. Yeah, I'm almost sure you would have been dead. So, they've got Bundy's there. He's wrapped in a blanket, pulled off to the side, and Rowan is standing there with him and kind of cradling him. Elwyn is running towards. So now you're standing on the top of, I guess, what this hill is. You can see a ton of smoke pouring up over the edge of this hill. You're basically on top of it, and Elwyn starts running to the edge to look over. You covered maybe 50 or 60 feet straight up this shaft to the top of this mountain outcropping, whatever it is.
Right. I'd like to. Am I in condition to overlook to see what's going on?
It's going to take you a few rounds to clear your eyes and kind of get yourself together before you could run over.
All right.
Gloom is the same thing. He turns over and literally just starts puking. He actually I think the one thing that might have saved you was that he was underneath you.
Well, that's what I said. It's a good thing he made his saves. Otherwise, if he wasn't pushing from underneath, I would have been dead.
Like rats fucking drowning or something.
Yeah.
So Ellen runs to the edge and he go, "Yeah, motherfuckers, burn, motherfuckers." And
they must all be on fire.
And you're able to compose yourself, and you walk to the edge, and you can see that the running off into the distance, you see two guys that are completely engulfed in flames as two more of the riders are gone. And
that means there's 2 left. No, 3 left.
3 riders left, yes. And the whole nose of this thing is engulfed. You can see that one of the treads blew off, so it can't move anymore. So it can't back away from the flame. And out of the back of this thing, you see 2 guys come running out.
2 new guys.
2 of the drivers.
Okay.
So basically, you're down to 5.
But now I'm like 50 feet up on a cliff face.
Yep. 3 guys are running this way to try to get away. 2 guys ran off. They're just in flames,
I take out my carbine.
Okay, you take out the carbine. Okay.
And I start to try and pick off flaming.
Okay.
Fucking guys as they run.
So Elwyn follows your lead. Roll 1d20 with your firearm skill, difficulty 15.
Fucking shit.
You need to change dice, dude.
2 5s and 7s is what I've been wrong.
So Elwyn pulls his carbine up and he goes, crack, boom, and hits one of them with an 18. And he does 1d6 damage with it. He does 1. He wings one of them. Hold on, I need to kill 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do a d10 and figure out who died and who didn't.
From
1,
the
2,
fire.
3. This guy's dead. This guy's dead.
Okay.
So he shoots at 1. He's going to hit this guy, and he's down to 1 hit point. He hits him in the meat of the thigh, and the guy falls down, and he's like crawling away. Okay, so what are you guys gonna do now?
Right now. I mean, well. Yeah, let me take one more shot.
All right, so you open the breech, you load another one of these bullets in there. You kind of kiss it, and you load it in there.
There we go, 16 plus,
Okay.
plus 5. Yeah.
So which guy were you aiming at? There's 2 guys running and 1 guy on the ground.
The guy running. One of the guys running.
Okay. Roll 1d6 for damage.
Probably 2d6.
Oh, sorry, 2d6. Oh, well, shit. Hold on. Let me do some more damage here. Oh, he killed that 1 guy then. 8. All right. Let's see who you shot. 1. All right, this guy's down to 4.
So there's 2 guys. The 2 guys who ran out. Where'd they go? They ran out of the back of the tank. Do I see them?
They are running, and they run and dip into the woods.
They dip into the woods.
Yeah, you can't see where they went.
All right.
This guy's dead. This guy's dead. And we're going to say this guy's dead. This is the guy that you shot. Elwin's going to take a shot at the other guy. He rolls a 16. Hits him. Does 8 points of damage. And this guy, once again, he falls too. He's down to 1 hit point. And this guy is like crawling towards the tank. Mother.
I look around because I don't know where I'm at here at this point, because I know we need to get out of here too, because they called for help. So I don't want to spend too much time here. Is there a way down from this cliff? Does it go off into somewhere else?
Not on this side, but it looks like the back side might start to roll down, and you end up kind of at ground level again.
On the other side of this,
yeah,
I can't. Okay,
yeah,
so
on the back side maybe, but on this side it's a sheer cliff straight down.
All right, so then let's take those guys out so we make sure they don't backtrack us into the woods. So I'll take a shot at the first guy that I hit.
Okay, he's still running but limping, kind of.
So that's 13 plus ranged for 18.
All right, so you hit him.
4.
Ooh, right through his chest, and you put him down.
Okay.
He falls on the ground. Owen's going to take a shot at the guy on the ground. He takes real careful aim. And he hits the ground next to him. Please, please, please. Mercy, mercy. And his voice is not close. You can hear it kind of like way off in the distance because you guys are like ahead of him, but you can make it out clear as a bell, even over the flames that are roaring underneath you. And the smoke is pouring out.
All right. He's incapacitated?
He's crawling, but yeah, he got shot in the thigh. In the meaty part of the thigh, he's hurt pretty bad.
Nah, fuck him. I take a shot.
Okay. Oh shit. Do not roll another one.
20.
Okay. All right. So Elwin loads another single round and it takes aim and hits him. Puts one right between his shoulder blades and just and he slumps over, and then suddenly, where there was so much movement and so much activity, it's now just still and silent and smoldering. And you hear just the flames just eating away at everything down there. And a huge plume of smoke just up into the sky. And there's
that orange plume of smoke right
next to it, and this acrid black plume on the other side of it that's kind of shapeless. Right. The other one is way more like formed and intentional, and then there's this black cloud that, like, as it goes up, it like kind of like an inverse pyramid, you know, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
So I turn to Frank. He's like, "Who's with Bundy's?"
Rowan.
So I turn to Rowan. How is he?
I think he's stabilized, but I don't know if he's gonna make it. I don't know if we can move him.
We need to get out of here. We have to move him. We have to move him. What do you mean you don't know if we can move him?
I mean, he's hurt real bad. I mean, he's been shot like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
Elwin stands up and he grabs his rifle and he kind of spits in the direction he slings it. and walks back over towards where you guys are. You can see flames belching up and smoke belching out of the hole that you
So
guys just climbed
they
out of.
used like med kits and stuff. Frank, Frank, you have anything to help bandage him up so we can move him better?
I did. Everything's back.
We did everything we could.
Everything's back at the truck, dude. Everything's back at the truck.
I have a first aid kit.
Okay.
I hand it to Frank.
Okay. Frank tries to make a roll. He rolls a 9. He takes some things out. He's spraying antiseptics on some of the wounds and binding them tighter. He's like, that's as good as it's going to get. I mean, he's literally shot in every limb and 3 times in the torso.
Well, we have to carry him.
Okay. How are we going to carry him?
I don't know. Strap him to my back. I can carry him. Okay. My lifting is 350 pounds overhead.
Well, I'm less concerned about if you can carry him. Like, what kind of
capacity is 350?
What kind of damage is that going to do to him by dragging him around? I mean, he might have some bullets in there.
Well, I'm just saying, just tie him to the back of me.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can leave him here to die.
No, I don't think we can leave him here either. I think we got to think about something else. What else can we do to get him out of here?
Well, we're up in the air on a cliff. We have to get down the cliff, unless I'm not understanding. I look around.
All right, you look around, you notice that you don't see Gloom anywhere. You can see the pile of vomit and spit where he was losing his mind, but he's not there anymore.
Okay. I'm used to that.
Yep.
I mean, we have to get back to the truck, so we have to get out of here. So we have to strap him to me.
All right, so they pick him up and they drape him.
Is there anything you can give him for pain? I don't know. They give him something. I don't know.
High or low for favorable?
High. Only because I feel bad for him.
He goes, I got aspirin. I don't think he can swallow like aspirin.
I don't know. I'm just. We leave him here, he dies.
No,
we stay here, we all die.
All right, so they pick him up and they throw him over your shoulder, and you guys start to work your way down.
But tie him to me. I don't mean to. I'm not going to flop him around. Do you have rope?
What do you mean tie him to you?
Like make my body like a splint for him or some shit. Strap him to my back like a fucking backpack so that he doesn't move that much. It'll be like me carrying nothing.
I don't know if that's going to work.
I'm an ox.
I think you'd be better off just throwing him over your shoulder and doing the fireman's carry. Tying him to you is going to be the same difference. You're going to be going over rough terrain, climbing down.
Yeah, but I know fireman's carry is going to require me to use my hands to hold him in position.
Yeah. No, you throw him
over your shoulder. If you just tie him to me.
You only need one hand. You only have one hand free.
Okay. Is it steep down on the way down?
It's not like you're climbing like a sheer rock wall. It's it's rough terrain that goes down the hill.
So I could scramble with just one hand is enough?
You could move a little bit. You could move slightly fast. I would say at about maybe quarter speed.
I'm not worried about speed as much as I'm worried about falling and fucking injuring the both of us.
Okay.
All right. So, let's do that then.
All right, so you wind your way down this hill, and you're trying to work your way back kind of around to the side that might get you near the side of this cliff where this base was, where you parked the truck, and you work your way down. You get about 3/4 of the way down, and Gloom shows up. He's like, come on, this way. Come on, let's go. And he leads you guys down the rest of that hill.
Okay.
And basically to the road that led to this cache. And you maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, you're at the truck.
Okay. Let's get in the truck and get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
As fast as we can. You
slide Bundy's in the back of the truck, and Frank climbs in. You climb in. The 2 kids climb in the back, and they're looking out the tailgate. And Frank turns on the gas, and he's like, "Okay, now what?" Or turns on the power.
Is the road? Can you show me the road again? I don't know if we should double back, or is once you get to this cache, there's no way, like there's no other roads that lead out of here, right?
No,
you just got to turn around and go back out.
Yeah, there's a T here where they were trying to turn around, but yeah, there's a road.
This is a hidden road, so let's get off this made up road.
Yep,
and let's turn towards the other cache. Sure. I have to pee. Would you like to set that up while I go pee?
Yeah, I need a minute. So, all right, you double back down the road, and you get to the main intersection. I'm going to pause it for a second. I might pee too. All right, so you drive back to the end of the man-made road, and you reach a T. You can take the one road that goes back towards Timberland.
Oh shit!
Or there's another road that goes off into the southwest of here.
Okay,
this way.
I know that Timberland was in between these two caches.
Yep.
And we hit one of them.
Yep.
And that's where and we destroyed it.
Yep.
We wanted to ransack it, but it's now destroyed. So I don't know. So now there's another one. So now there could potentially be other people at that other one, which is who they were signaling or not. I don't know, but I do want to know where it is in relation to us right here. And we're here?
Right here. And this is Timberland right here. The Citadel's way over here. This is not to scale. At some point, I need to draw like something.
I think that
map.
Are there any back roads to that cache? Are there any other roads that I know of or that are on this map?
Not that you know of. I mean, most of the time you're in the back of the truck, so how he got there, you didn't know.
Yeah.
You know that when he got there, it was generally the same kind of setup. There was like maybe 5 guys that were sitting there.
Again, if Frank has the map, I hand the map to Frank and I ask him if there's a back. Can we get into this cache through a back road, Frank? You think?
You see the main road there, and what you're also learning is what's on the map is what was on the map when the map was created.
Right. There could be other stuff.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. Like I'd like to get to the cache, but I don't want to drive straight in because I'm not entirely sure. We may run into a whole fucking party coming in the other direction. But we have to go that way to get back towards the Citadel anyway. And not that we should go back. We wanted to ransack these 2 places, and now there's only 1 place, so we need to get to that other cache. So let's... Let's get off. Are we off that? We made it to the T, right?
There's a main road. Yeah, you made it back to the T.
Made it back to the main road. Is a place to? Let's go back in that direction and ditch the car and lay low for like. Lay low.
Go back in what direction?
Go back towards the cache, but go hide in the woods. So if anybody, so in other words, take the road that heads to the cache for like maybe a quarter mile.
Okay.
But then get the car deep into the woods and then hide in the woods and see if any parties drive by us while we lick our wounds.
Okay. That's probably good as plan as any. So you also notice that from the cache there is a road that leads kind of goes towards Brookdale. So you can actually go around if you had to. So the ride back to the main interface that leads to Timberland is there, which is kind of sad for you because
you're not going to go there. I don't want to.
No, but it's right there, and you think about just not too long ago, you were so excited at the potentials and the possibilities of going back to your hometown, and then obviously the utter terror and despair that you found. You know that throughout the trip, this plume of smoke for the better part of the day and into the night was very apparent in the sky. But as you reach the end of the day, it starts to disperse a little bit, and you get to a spot that's about a quarter of the way between that interface to Timberland and where the road that leads to this other cache, and you're able to find a spot that you pull the truck out into the woods. Frank goes about, getting some branches, and he kind of tries to cover up the truck marks, and they put branches on the trees and kind of camouflages the tree up in this area. And you guys, start to, Bundy's is in the back, and they keep him stabilized. They built like some little kind of stretcher with some branches and stuff, and they take him off the truck and put him on the ground and elevate him and constantly treating his wounds. And he seems to be stable, very, very gray, very ashen looking, but still very much alive. And you guys set up a decent little camp. You don't start a fire because obviously that would draw attention. So you're eating a lot of stuff out of cans.
And you're staying in the truck too.
And you're staying in the truck.
You can use it for
and you're starting to see that you're running low on food.
I want to take the first aid kit and whatever first aid. I mean, we have 10. I had 10 MREs.
Okay.
So if anybody needs MREs, I dish them out. Anybody need an MRE?
Frank's like, hold on. Let's just ration this out, okay? We're not going to hand it out. Let's break this up and just eat what we need because we don't know how long it's going to be. We need to get resupply.
Yeah.
So everybody throws what they have in a pile. There's, chunks of bread and stuff wrapped up in like.
Okay. I throw in my 10 MREs.
Gloom throws 5 in.
So should I erase them? Is that going to go in some?
Just keep it for now. I'll tell you how much you spend.
Okay.
And everybody uses a little bit of healing.
What about first aid, Frank? Should we throw all our first aid kits into a pile?
I think we need to find out what we have for ammo, first aid, and everything.
So, okay.
You use the first aid and you heal 11 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. Me? I use 11?
No. Gloom pulls out his first aid kit. There's a bunch of sprays and hypos and stuff, and he's injecting.
Why is his stuff better than mine all the fucking time?
Because every time you're in town, you're never looking to buy any of that stuff. You never ask. You never look. You don't do anything.
I don't do anything. I just go.
You have a bunch of money that you never
I have money that I don't spend. I just figured Gloom's going to take care of me. He's been taking care of me this whole freaking time.
So, but he's out now. That's everything. He healed you up. That's 11 points that you get back. And then
I got 11 points back.
He uses some on everybody else. And
what about Bundy's? Has anybody used anything on him?
No, but he's lost so much blood that he's beyond that. A lot of his wounds have been sealed and closed, and they're healing. But
so they've already done all they can for him. He just needs time.
He just needs time.
And luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you guys are in the back of the truck. It starts to rain, and you can hear the rain kind of patter on the outside of the truck.
Should we take turns looking out, scouting that road?
We definitely should have somebody kind of hanging out there, just keeping an eye out.
Okay, I'll go first. Can I borrow you night goggles, Gloom?
He gives you the night goggles, and then Frank tosses you a plastic like rain poncho to throw on over your clothes.
Okay, and I just go sit on top of the truck, I guess.
All right, so you go out
Indian style, my night goggles on, and I stare.
Sitting on top of the truck in the quiet of the forest, just staring out at the road. Okay. And I think that's a good place to stop. Okay. So, well, we got some stuff accomplished.
We didn't make it completely out of the woods, no pun intended, but we got out of that freaking hot spot.
Yep.
I just don't know if anyone's going to respond to that. But I think the right move, maybe Brookdale, then back to the cache.
Oh, you're going to go. We got
some revenge. I mean, we took that tank out. Part of me wants to go back to that tank and ransack it. But that fire's died down. You said it's raining?
It's raining, yeah.
So maybe by morning that thing will be out.
Or maybe it's just been burned out by fire. I mean, it's completely also filled with fuel and fire too, right?
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like there's a lot of stuff we could have taken.
Probably.
Yeah, well. Hopefully Bundy's makes it.
Anything could happen.
Yep.
All right, guys. So that's it for this week. We're going to maybe start doing a few more of these and get this thing moving a little bit further down the road. I think making some progress on the plot pieces because, like I said, and also the time between this, it's hard to keep track and remember what the hell we did or what we can do.
Yeah, who's got what? I didn't even remember he had that fire starter thing.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't anymore.
He doesn't anymore.
It's gone.
It's gone.
All right, so I don't know. Let us know what you think. It's another week of adventure. Once again, Happy New Year. We'll do this again.
Yes, Happy New Year.
And
we're going to have an entire month of 420.
An entire month of 420? What does that mean?
April 20th. It's going to be 420 for a month.
April. Oh, because the month is 420.
What's going to happen on 420? What's going to happen on 420 at 420?
I think the hippies are going to literally fucking explode. Like they need an excuse to smoke weed. Anyways.
April 20th, 2020 at 420 is going to be...
Yeah. You might hear some guy named River go, whoa, and just explode. Like he's going to explode from excitement. All right, guys. Well, that's Gamma World.
My first time playing with the reading glasses. That was actually kind of nice.
Was it better that you could see?
Yeah. I could see the map better for sure.
All right,
that
guys.
was fun.
Well, you know what? Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. Like us. Dislike us.
doomsdaydoopyDoo@gmail.com. Did we say that?
I didn't say that this time.
Leave a review. Tell a
leave a
friend.
review. Tell a friend.
Thanks.
Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. That's it, I think. Wasabi peas. Bitches.